Everybody, it's Matt Mayoko at NBC Sports Bay Area checking in with you, kind of taking the sideways look here on this video, which is brought to you by Canyon Club Brewery. It's a brewery, a beer garden, restaurant, all in one, family-friendly atmosphere in Moraga, California. Check it out. In fact, I was just there last night. Had a pregame meal, had a drink at Canyon Club in Moraga before heading over to the St. Mary's basketball game. And I'm really excited because Canyon Club is expanding into Danville. They'll be opening a spot at the Danville Livery. Okay, so I'll tell you more about this ear thing, but I don't want you to be distracted by it. You might be distracted by me not looking at the camera or not facing the camera, but I'll tell you about it at the end. 49ers return to practice on Wednesday. No Trent Williams, no Nick Bosa, no Aaron Banks, no Jordan Mason. Mason likely going on injured reserve. Limited practice for Dre Greenlaw and Talon Hufanga. Greenlaw remains on PUP. Hufanga, the window open for him off of injured reserve. Look for Dre Greenlaw not to be active for this game. I don't know that Hufanga will be active for this game either. But with Greenlaw, the 49ers play this game Sunday against the Chicago Bears, and then they have the quick turnaround for a Thursday game against the Rams. Circle that one. That'll be the game where Dre Greenlaw makes his debut with the 49ers. Full practice for Brock Purdy. He's just fine. Full practice for Jordan Elliott. He has been cleared through the concussion protocol. So good news for him as he returns to provide depth. Actually, might be starting for the 49ers because of Kevin Givens going on injured reserve with the torn pec. And so, as I mentioned on the situation on the video yesterday, the situation for 49ers running back, look for, Isaac Grendo will get a lot of action the rest of the season. So he'll be the starter. More than likely, Patrick Taylor will be the number 2 guy. The 49ers did re-sign Keyshawn Vaughn to the practice squad. He's been with the team. He was with the team on all the training camp. So I would think that he would be the 3rd active guy on Sunday. And then Israel Abanikonda, he will be Abanikonda. He will be the guy who will be, he's on the 53 man, but I can't imagine they're going to have him active early on here. He was inactive for every game with the Jets this season, so he's got to get into the flow a little bit before he's put out there on the field. Two things with Garindo. What's interesting with him is that 49ers thought a lot of him, 4th-round draft pick. They trade up to get him. He will get an opportunity to really get ingrained in this offense. And if he does finish the season strong, it kind of opens up this possibility with Jordan Mason. Mason is scheduled to be a restricted free agent. So the 49ers could tender him at a deal. Would they sign him to a long-term deal? I kind of doubt that because they already have Garindo. They already have Christian McCaffrey. But it could open the door for the 49ers to possibly move him in a trade. Now, a lot of times you look at it and you go, well, they needed 3 running backs this season. And who's to say, what the future is going to hold there? But there is a possibility with Mason, would he rather play on the 1-year tender as a restricted free agent before he becomes an unrestricted free agent? Or would he, prefer that the 49ers trade him or don't tender him at all? 49ers are going to tender him. Absolutely, they're going to tender him because he's shown that he can be a starting running back in the NFL. It would be just kind of interesting in today's NFL, where just a couple of years ago we were talking about how running backs were not valued at all. Now, just look at how the landscape has changed in just a year. Christian McCaffrey, Offensive Player of the Year. Got Saquon Barkley moving from the Giants to the Eagles, really spearheading that team. You have Derrick Henry going over to the Ravens, being a big-time player for that team. Josh Jacobs with the Packers. Maybe a team would want Jordan Mason. And, they're not going to give up a top draft pick, a 1st-round pick or a 2nd-round pick or probably a 3rd-round pick. But there might be a spot for Jordan Mason where a team would be willing to give up something to the 49ers to get him. But that's for the offseason. Also for the offseason, is what the 49ers are going to do on their offensive line. And Jalen Moore has played very well since taking over for Trent Williams. Trent still remains away from the team after his family's gone through that tragedy of his wife and him losing their twins during pregnancy. But Jalen Moore has played well. He would be scheduled for unrestricted free agency. So could the 49ers re sign him? Would another team think of him based on what he's put on film as a starter? So that remains to be seen. And then also, I just don't think that Aaron Banks will be back with the 49ers next season. A starter at left guard. He will be an unrestricted free agent. Just typically speaking, when starting offensive linemen hit the market, they get paid. The 49ers didn't pay Laken Tomlinson. They didn't pay Mike McGlinchey. I don't think that they'll pay Aaron Banks. So Ben Barch, who stepped in and played against the Bills, played very well. Different kind of weather conditions that maybe were more conducive to offensive linemen blocking, seeing how both teams really ran the ball effectively. But Ben Barch has a chance to be a 49ers starter next season. And he's also a free agent, scheduled to be a free agent, but he's somebody the 49ers could definitely get at a cost lower than Aaron Banks. So keep an eye on that. The 49ers, there's a lot of issues obviously surrounding this team. And one of them is at the wide receiver position where, the 49ers just haven't been as productive this year as they have been in the past. And 49ers were certainly hoping that Ricky Pearsall, the first round draft pick, would step in and create another dynamic playmaker for the 49ers offense. And it hasn't materialized that way quite yet. He did get off to a very good start, including that the game in Tampa where he played very well and had that touchdown and just kind of started to show, I think, some of the signs that he could be a big time player. Kyle Shanahan was asked about Pearsall on Wednesday about just what he has seen from him and how he's doing. And this is what Kyle Shanahan had to say about Pearsall. He said, I think Ricky got a little banged up in Green Bay, battled through a lot, and still is able to play through it and helped us on punt returns. And I don't judge much from that Buffalo game. I think we had 6 completions that were screens, and I think 4 other guys had like 4-yard catches. So he's basically talking about just the weather conditions really weren't conducive, obviously, to the passing game. But he said that there was nothing really with Ricky there. We had a chance to get him downfield one time, and he slipped, but that was nothing against him for that game. So, in my 49ers overreactions piece, somebody did say, "Oh, Ricky Pearsall, is he a bust?" And I just want to pump the brakes on that part of it because I think we need to cut Ricky a lot of slack and give him a wide berth this season just because of all the stuff that he went through leading up to the season. So what I've seen from Ricky Pearsall, I thought that he's a good player. I thought he is a good route runner, good hands. He had everything in the offseason. I thought he had a chance to be a really dynamic player, not catch a whole lot of passes, but I was thinking like maybe 30, 35 catches on the season for, say 450 or 500 yards, something like that. But I just don't really count anything. This year, I just kind of give him a mulligan because of the shooting incident. He's lucky to be alive, let alone playing football. So let's give Ricky a break this year and let's see how he comes back next year. And I think a lot of the guys on the team probably feel the same way with all the injuries at different positions. In a lot of ways, this year is just kind of a write it off kind of year for the 49ers. So that's where the 49ers are from an injury standpoint heading into this game. Yeah, they're still in the playoffs mathematically. Are they really? I don't think so. It's just because they've never really looked like a playoff team this season, but there's still plenty to play for when you talk about Garindo, you talk about Ricky Pearsall, you talk about the 2 offensive linemen that I've cited. defensive linemen who are battling to be depth pieces next season. So there's still a lot to play for. Now, as far as this ear, this is from years and years of as a youth playing baseball, wearing a baseball hat in hot summer months and sun damage. And so nothing serious, but a just had a procedure done where something had to be removed and it became a lot more complex than originally planned. So I probably won't be in Santa Clara on Thursday or Friday, hoping to be at the game on Sunday. But again, nothing serious, nothing too bad, but certainly a 7.5 hour day in the office or in the at the dermatology center getting something removed. So what I thought was going to be a quick in and out procedure was anything but. But again, nothing nothing that is too concerning. I'll get through this and everything will be fine, I'm sure, in just a week or two. So anyway, thank you for watching this video, and that is it for now.